Robert Chapman. It is a great thing having him here with us on this Independence Day weekend. And I'll tell you why. This international forecaster, if there's one newsletter to subscribe to, this is the newsletter. And if today's interview won't convince you, you just don't care about your own finances. This is about you, your future, and your life. It's more than just your money. It's about your life. They're coming after everything. And this last issue of the International Forecaster ran 43 pages, and every single page had more and more valuable information than I've seen anywhere else. Robert Chapman, welcome to Erskine Overnight, my friend.
Well, thank you. It's very nice to be back again.
We've got a situation right now to where there's no money for Social Security cost of living index, no money for the Veterans cost of living index. They are not extending benefits for the unemployed, but we can spend $33 billion on the Afghan war. What's going on? Have they forgotten about the American people in Washington completely?
Yes, I think they have, and I've had a lot of reports from people on the scene that they're sick and tired of guarding poppies and marijuana that can be exported for profit by the Afghan government as well as the American CIA and MI6 in England. And that and the pipeline, geopolitical position, the resources that they've known for over 100 years that are there, that's why we're there. And the American people are just giving their blood so that the rich international bankers can clean up again along with the oil companies in Wall Street. And that's really what it's about. And, you know, we see all of the things that are going on out there in the Middle East, the buildup of troops and weapons of all kinds. It's obvious that the United States and Israel are looking to have another war that could work into a third world war. And it's very, very frightening. So $33 billion may be another pittance. You know, the Iraq affair this last time and Afghanistan will cost practically $1 trillion. And so are we going to have another world war that may cost us half a civilization and another $10 trillion?
Well, you say they're having a terrific buildup of U.S. and Afghan forces, U.S. and Israeli forces in Georgia and also Azerbaijan. And the people over there are getting very, very nervous in Iran because of this huge buildup. You've got Navy flotilla going over there. In the midst of the economic situation that we have in the world today, we're going to start a war with Iran. Are you kidding me?
Well, in part, it's a distraction. And any kind of a war, they would make it last for years, and it would be used as a cover for the economic and financial problems of the United States and Western Europe or the world in general. And if people are worried about getting killed tomorrow morning, they're not going to be so concerned about the economic and financial mess, which the bankers and their toadies in government will blame on the war. And so it's a perfect exit. They did the same thing with the Second World War, and the economy turned down, so then we had Korea, and then we had another turn down, so then we had Vietnam, and then we had the early Gulf War in the 90s. The whole thing is all rigged. They have war on command.
Speaking of rigged, gold prices took a terrific drop today. The stock market has been dropping like a rock all week. 250 points on Wednesday, and then another big drop during the week. It's just been continually going down. Why would gold and silver go down so much?
Because the United States government is manipulating the market in gold and silver and the shares as well. And they continue to do it. Until we can stop them, they will continue to do it, or until we have a scandal. And most people don't know that they are doing that outside of Wall Street. And most people don't understand what they're doing. Most people have never heard of executive orders that create things like the Working Group in Financial Markets, which has allowed them to do that. We live in a
otherwise known as the
plumbers
group, right?
And so,
plunge protection team.
Yes, that's correct. It's also called that. And we have class action lawsuits coming against J.P. Morgan Chase. And when they are doing interrogatories, I'm sure that they're going to go for discovery and try to find out if Morgan is also rigging the gold market and who the other players are. And this thing could break it wide open. And I don't think we're far away from that, probably a few weeks for that lawsuit. And they got all the evidence.
If that breaks wide open, that and some other things like the higher inflation, you're looking, I've never seen you go this far out. You're looking at the Dow going down to 5,000, and you're looking at gold going up to 5,000. The upside on gold is unbelievable, isn't it?
It certainly is, and it's very disappointing for people like myself and subscribers and others throughout the world that the United States keeps on doing what it does and knocking the price down all the time. And, of course, it turns around and it goes right back up again because they don't have the power to keep it down because they don't have any gold left, at least that they want to sell. We don't even know how much gold they have left because their gold hasn't been audited since 1954. And so it's concerning.
1954? Are you kidding?
Well, every time it comes up in Congress, it's shuffled to the rear. Nobody wants to touch it because they're all paid off, except for Ron Paul and a few other people. And that's why you got to get rid of them all in November. And so they get away with this stuff. But I think that could very well be coming to a close here with this class action lawsuit. That kind of lawsuit bankers and Wall Street hate because they have to answer it in federal court and they can't arbitrate and they can't make a deal. And so, there's going to be people like myself who owned gold and silver related assets who are going to join that suit because we've been cheated for years by these people.
Well, there's a number of countries who aren't buying into it, and one of them is Russia. And you can say one thing about them, Mr. Putin and the Russians are not stupid people. They have just bought another 22 tons of gold, bringing their May total to a record 703.1 tons of gold. I mean, the amount of gold that they're buying is absolutely incredible. They're looking at it as this is the real storehouse because they're talking about changing the currencies and they're talking about changing it to SDR, special drawing rights, new world currency based on a basket of other currencies. So you're talking fiat for fiat and the worldwide carbon tax, and neither of these are going to be substantial. They're both going to be sort of hallucinatory, and so what you've got is gold as the standard. Russia's looking at the big picture, aren't they?
They certainly are, and they've been pro-gold for a long time.
We'll be right back on Erskine Overnight with Robert Chapman. Look at what Russia's doing. Listen to what Mr. Chapman's saying. Gold is your storehouse to survival.